Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. President Draupadi Murmu reaches Botswana on the second and last leg of her Africa tour. Botswana's president receives her at the airport. Prime Minister Modi and the King of Bhutan inaugurate the Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric project. The Prime Minister calls energy cooperation a key pillar of the India-Bhutan partnership. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs a meeting on New Delhi blast. The National Investigation Agency takes over the probe. A suicide bombing outside a court in Pakistan's capital, Islamabad, kills at least 12 people. And Bihar sees 68% voter turnout. Katihar polls the highest at 75.23%. President Draupadi Murmu has reached Botswana from Angola on the second and last leg of Africa tour. Botswana's President Duma Boko welcomed the president at the Botswana International Airport in the capital city. The visit will provide fresh momentum to collaborative ties with Botswana and strengthen cooperation in new areas of mutual benefit. President Murmu was accorded a Guard of Honor upon her arrival in Botswana's capital and a 21-gun salute. The state visit underscores India's commitment to strengthen its long-standing and friendly ties with Botswana. President Murmu was given a traditional welcome by local tribal artists at the airport. During the visit, President Murmu will hold bilateral talks with the President of Botswana on 12 November. The President is scheduled to address the National Assembly of Botswana, interact with the members of the Indian community in Botswana, and also visit sites of cultural and historical importance. And earlier during her visit to Angola, President Murmu attended a number of programs. The President held talks with Angola's President and also addressed the country's parliament. On Tuesday, she attended the 50th Independence Day celebration of Angola in Luanda.
President Draupadi Murmu on Tuesday concluded her successful visit to Angola, where she attended a number of events. On November 9, President held one-to-one meeting and delegation-level talks with Angola President. President Murmu welcomed Angola's decision to join the International Big Cat Alliance and the Global Biofuels Alliance. MOUs on cooperation in fisheries, aquaculture and marine resources, and on cooperation in consular matters were exchanged on the occasion.
अंगोला की साझेदारी आपसी विश्वास, परस्पर सम्मान और हमारे लोगों के समृद्धि भविष्य की साझा दृष्टि पर आधारित है। हम द्विपक्षीय साझेदारी को बढ़ाने और क्षेत्रीय व वैश्विक मामले में विचारों के आदान प्रदान के लिए निकट सहयोग कर रहे हैं। हमने नए क्षेत्रों में व्यापार और निवेश संबंधों को और विविध बनाने पर सहमति व्यक्त की।
On Monday, President addressed the Indian community reception event in Angola. President said that partnership with Angola is rooted in equality, mutual trust, and shared aspirations for progress. She stated that India's engagement with Africa has evolved under the framework of the India-Africa Forum Summit. Besides, President Draupadi Murmu also addressed the National Assembly of Angola at Luanda. President Murmu highlighted that a history of anti-colonial struggle and democratic values are shared linkages between India and Angola. While India is the world's largest democracy, and Angola is one of Africa's most vibrant democracies.
भारत विश्व का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है और अंगोला अफ्रीका के सबसे गतिशील लोकतंत्रों में से एक है। दोनों ही इस विश्वास पर आधारित है कि प्रत्येक नागरिक की आवाज़ मायने रखती है और शासन का उद्देश्य कुछ लोगों की ही नहीं बल्कि सबकी सेवा है।
President Murmu visited the Memorial Agostinho Neto in Luanda. Agostinho Neto was the first president of Angola who had led the popular movement for the liberation of Angola in the War for Independence of Angola. President Draupadi Murmu later visited the fortress of St. Michael in Angola. Before her departure for Botswana on Tuesday, President Murmu attended the 50th Independence Day celebrations of Angola in Luanda. Angola gained independence from Portugal in 1975. Bureau Report, DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the King of Bhutan inaugurated the 1,020 megawatt Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric project in Thimphu on Tuesday. The Indian government announced a concessional line of credit of 4,000 crore rupees for Bhutan to fund energy projects. India also announced the grant of land in Varanasi for building a Bhutanese temple and guest house. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh reports from Thimphu.
Giving a boost to development cooperation between India and Bhutan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with King of Bhutan, Jigme Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk, inaugurated 1,020 megawatt Punat Sangchu 2nd hydroelectric project, developed jointly by the Government of India and the Royal Government of Bhutan. With the completion of the Punat Sangchu 2nd project, Bhutan's installed power capacity has increased by about 40% to over 3,500 megawatt.
The Prime Minister of India and the King of Bhutan, both of them underlined the fact that we have the foundation for the hydropower partnership between the two countries. After the meeting and the joint inauguration of this 1,020 megawatt Punat Sangchu 2 hydropower project, and that project has added 40% to the total installed power generation capacity in Bhutan.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi and King of Bhutan, Jigme Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk, witnessed the exchange of 3 MOUs in Thimphu. These MOUs are in the fields of renewable energy, mental health services, and healthcare to further strengthen bilateral cooperation. Government of India also announced a concessional line of credit of 4,000 crore rupees for Bhutan to fund energy projects.
There was an announcement of a line of credit of Indian rupees 4,000, which translates into 0.40 billion, which has been kind of extended.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed an event to mark the 70th birth anniversary of 4th King of Bhutan at Changli Methang Celebration Ground in Thimphu.
भारत और भूटान के संबंध इतने सशक्त और समृद्ध हैं। हम मुश्किलों में भी साथ थे, हमने चुनौतियों का सामना भी मिलकर किया, और आज जब हम प्रोग्रेस की प्रॉस्पेरिटी की तरफ चल पड़े हैं, तब भी हमारा साथ और मजबूत हो रहा है।
Bhutan's king, Jigme Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk, led a mass prayer in Thimphu, joined by thousands of Bhutanese citizens.
Come together and pray for India, pray for Prime Minister Modi. May all your aspirations, may your vision and your service to India bear fruit. May you overcome each and every single obstacle, and may your dream of a even brighter, stronger, more prosperous India be fulfilled. But above all, we would like to take a moment and pray for the people who sadly lost their lives yesterday in Delhi.
On Wednesday, Prime Minister will participate in the Global Peace Prayer Festival. The shared spiritual heritage and warm people-to-people ties are a hallmark of the special partnership. India and Bhutan share a unique and exemplary partnership marked by deep mutual trust, goodwill, and respect for each other.
Day one of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bhutan highlighted the civilizational and spiritual ties between the two nations. New milestones in development partnership were added with the Punasangchu 2 hydropower project. The leaders also sent out a message of peace and solidarity in the aftermath of the Delhi blast incident. With camera person Saurabh, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Thimphu.
New Delhi is on high alert after a car exploded near the Red Fort on Monday. Prime Minister Modi has vowed to bring those responsible to justice. The National Investigation Agency has since taken over the probe. The decision came after Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed the security situation in the national capital and other parts of the country. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya, Jessica Taneja, Kriti Vadhera and Tripti Tripathi report.
कल शाम दिल्ली में हुई भयावह घटना ने सभी के मन को व्यथित कर दिया है। मैं पीड़ित परिवारों का दुख समझता हूं। हमारी एजेंसियां इस षड्यंत्र की तह तक जाएगी। इसके पीछे के षड्यंत्रकारियों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। All those responsible will be brought to justice.
Prime Minister vowed strict actions against the conspirators of blast in Delhi, adding that the tragedy in Delhi has pained every Indian. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh echoed similar sentiments, saying that those responsible for the New Delhi blast will be brought to justice and won't be spared under any circumstances.
From this platform, I wish to assure my citizens that the country's leading investigative agencies are conducting a swift and thorough inquiry into the incident. The findings of the investigation will soon be made public. I want to formally assure the nation that those responsible for this tragedy will be brought to the justice and will not be spared under any circumstances.
Home Minister Amit Shah chaired a high-level security meeting attended by senior officials of the NIA, Intelligence Bureau and Delhi Police to review the ongoing investigation and assess the security situation in the capital. NIA has taken over investigation into the Delhi car blast case. An NIA team revisited the site on Tuesday morning to gather additional forensic evidence. The blast had occurred on Monday near the historic Red Fort in New Delhi.
क्राइम के ऊपर फॉरेंसिक साइंस की एफएसएल की टीम भी है, उसके अलावा और भी स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसीज की दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम भी है, एनएसजी की टीम भी है, जो पूरे सीन ऑफ क्राइम को यहाँ पे एग्जामिन कर रही हैं, आसपास के इलाके को भी एग्जामिन कर रही हैं और जो भी इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए ज़रूरी एविडेंसेस और ट्रेसेस हैं वो सारे कलेक्ट किए जा रहे हैं।
Messages of condolence continue to pour in from across the world. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi expressed deep sorrow and voiced confidence that the investigation will uncover the truth. From Washington, the U.S. State Department's Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs extended heartfelt condolences, while from Maldives President Mohammad Mizu said his country stands in solidarity with the people and government of India. The ambassadors of the Russia, European Union, France, Egypt, Japan, the UK, Iran and Argentina also expressed solidarity with India during the tragic time. As investigations continue, the nation waits, united in grief but resolute. With inputs from Tapas Bhattacharya, Kriti Vadhera and Jessica Taneja, Tripti Tripathi report for DD India.
The last phase of Bihar elections has concluded. 68% votes were cast till 5 p.m. Notably, the turnout in the first phase of election was 60.18%. On Tuesday, polling was held on 122 constituencies in 20 districts. 1,302 candidates were in the fray. Counting of votes will take place on 14th November. And still to come on DD India Live. France marks the 107th anniversary of World War II armistice. A bill to allow death penalty to terrorists passes first vote in Israel's legislature. And Samrat Rana becomes the first Indian pistol shooter in an Olympic discipline to be crowned the world champion. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A suicide bombing outside a district court in Pakistan's capital Islamabad killed at least 12 people and injured 27. The attack sparked panic with people running for safety in the busy area. The country's Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi confirmed that it was a suicide attack near a police vehicle outside the court complex. Paramilitary forces were sealed off the area as investigations continue. The wounded are undergoing treatment. The minister said that efforts are underway to identify the attacker, adding that there has been no claim of responsibility so far. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has blamed the Pakistani Taliban and the Baloch separatists for recent attacks targeting the country's security forces. France's President Emmanuel Macron unveiled a plaque at a ceremony commemorating the 107th anniversary of the 1918 armistice on Tuesday. The plaque honors the men who were forcibly conscripted to join the German army during the Second World War. Israel's parliament has advanced a bill that would mandate the death penalty for Palestinian militants convicted of killing Israeli citizens. In a vote held late on Monday, the bill passed with 39 in favor and 16 against out of 120 lawmakers. The bill will now move to a parliamentary committee for further debate before a second and third vote. It's not guaranteed that it will become law, with several key political parties having boycotted Monday's initial vote. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday that Moscow will conduct nuclear tests if any other nuclear power does so. The minister further said that Russia is ready to discuss U.S. concerns over what Washington, D.C. calls suspicious underground activities. He also added that Moscow was concerned by U.S. statements suggesting nuclear tests could be used for geopolitical purposes.
We are ready to discuss the suspicions raised by our American colleagues regarding the possibility that we might be secretly doing something deep underground, doing something there. We are also prepared to discuss with our American colleagues the resumption of preparatory work for the summit of Russian and US leaders proposed by them.
The third international conference on green hydrogen in New Delhi, Minister Pralhad Joshi announced a 100 crore rupee pilot project to promote innovative technologies, including biomass-based hydrogen production. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
At the third international conference on green hydrogen, India takes another bold stride toward a clean energy future. Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy Pralhad Joshi unveiled the logo of the National Green Hydrogen Mission, chosen from over 2,500 entries. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is spearheading the global hydrogen revolution, targeting 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen production per year by 2030, backed by 19,744 crore rupees outlay and creating over 6 lakh green jobs.
Representatives from more than 20 countries have participated and more than 2,500 registrations are there. And also we have launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission logo. There also it was through a crowdsourcing. More than 2,500 participants were there. Out of that, one is selected in through a most transparent mechanism.
The Union Minister also announced a new 100 crore rupee fund for pilot projects focused on innovative technologies, including biomass-based hydrogen production, further strengthening India's R&D ecosystem.
India is marching ahead as far as green energy is concerned and the green hydrogen is also concerned. The recent SECI tender, which has discovered the price of 49 rupees 75 paisa, that is the lowest in the world. That itself speaks how India is positively and quietly progressing towards a new era of transmission. We have also assured the world about the export stability. Many countries are interested, and all our pilot projects, including the movement of 37 vehicles, they are going very, very successfully.
With world leaders, industry experts and innovators joining hands at Bharat Mandapam, ICGH 2025 embodies India's vision to make green hydrogen not just a national mission, but a global solution for a cleaner, sustainable planet. Tapas Bhattacharya's report, DD India.
The Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi addressed a cavalry seminar in New Delhi. The Army Chief stressed on the importance of integration, innovation and adaptability across land, air, maritime and cyber domains. Talking about the integration of artificial intelligence, General Dwivedi said that AI should not be seen as a rival to human capabilities. Rather, it should be seen as an amplifier of human potential, enhancing commanders' creativity, empathy and decision-making on the battlefield.
As far as AI is concerned, it is never human versus AI. It is again humans amplified by AI. What does it mean? That the creativity of a commander on ground, empathy factor, when to do what, and thereafter take the brownie points, problem solving, turn data into decisions. That is something which will still remain the kind of a forte of the human being.
In sports news, young Indian shooter Samrat Rana created history in Cairo, clinching the gold in the men's 10-meter air pistol at the prestigious ISSF World Championships. The 20-year-old became the first Indian pistol shooter in an Olympic discipline to be crowned the world champion. His win powered India to the team gold in the event. With 3 gold, 3 silver and 3 bronze medals, India climbed to 3rd spot in the medals tally. China continued to lead the table with 6 golds, 4 silvers and 2 bronzes. Samrat shot 243.7 in the final to beat back the challenge from China's Hu Kai, who took the silver in a nerve-wracking medal round with a score of 243.3. Significantly, this was also the first time 2 Indian shooters won a medal in the same event at the World Championships. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.